Before we begin, the name is placed on the top right side of the screen. The study unfolds with interviews from classmates. The first one, when asked about Andrea, says that she is really stylish and always hangs out with pretty girls. Bet she is a girl's girl. He adds that she can be mean sometimes, but it's expected. After all, one is bound to meet that type of girl in high school. The girl who lurks around, dazzling everyone with her beauty, and then casually wrecks you emotionally. Nah, this is actually true. I can't really deny. The second classmate says that Andrea is really athletic. She has a lot of friends and even more fans. She's the basketball queen, like she practically slam dunks hearts for a living. The third classmate says he tried to confess his love to Andrea 3 times and got rejected 4. Yes, 4. The math doesn't even make sense anymore, but heartbreak rarely does. The situation, as portrayed below, is heart-wrenching and not very suitable for people with sensitive hearts. Andrea is walking away, not even looking back as he confesses for the first time. The second time, he climbs all the way to the roof like a K-drama protagonist, but she shouts, "In your dreams," and walks away like a queen. The third time, he corners her by the bathroom, but before he even musters up the courage to speak, she's already rejecting him again. One more rejection than attempts. The heartbreak inflation is real. The fourth student says she really admires Andrea. Andrea might even be a scholarship student. She's cool, sociable, pretty, and seems to have a perfect life. But earlier, we get a glimpse of the other side of the story. At the laundry shop, someone screams at the owner because the laundry machine isn't working again. The owner yells back, "What is she even waiting for? Just use her stupid hands, princess." Yet despite the chaos, Andrea still can't make the machine work. She ends up hand-washing her clothes and curses under her breath. "How can a laundry store not have a working machine?" she mutters. She sighs, annoyed that no one in school would ever believe pretty, perfect Andrea is here, wringing out socks with her bare hands. But her motto remains, be classy even if you're scrubbing stains in a bucket. The day after semester break, Andrea's best friend Hannah throws the most anticipated party in the school. Hannah's parties are always ragers. First, because her parents apparently have a truckload of booze hiding in their cupboards. Second, because her parties always include the most famous students, and of course that includes Andrea. The boys, being boys, are all collectively losing their minds around the pretty girls. Andrea, meanwhile, is just relieved that she finished her laundry job early and can actually enjoy the party. This is the only place where she can feel normal, like a popular teenage girl, even if only for one night. But alas, good things always come to an end, and her side hustle always comes back to haunt her. She gets a call. She receives a message. If she scrubbed the clothes too hard, apparently her boss wants to see her. She sighs dramatically. Her boss really hates her. Suddenly, she bumps into a drop-dead gorgeous guy, like ridiculously hot. Andrea stares. Why can't this happen to me too? Am I living under a rock? They lock eyes. The guy's name? Alex. At first glance, y'all must think, "Aw, look at them, in love already." But Andrea's inner monologue is screaming that she just ran into a red flag wrapped in a handsome package, and now her whole night might spiral into messiness. Naturally, she decides to dig up some dirt. Rake up interview 1. A girl is literally eating a tissue while sobbing, telling the story of how Alex dumped her 3 weeks in. She was blindsided. Andrea had to take her out and cheer her up with ice cream. Andrea, being the angel she is, also sat with this girl and bought her a drink. Deep down, though, Andrea regrets it, because that money could have covered dinner and lunch for 2 days. $25 gone just like that, for a casual 3-week relationship. That's not love, that's a subscription plan. Breakup interview 2. This girl cries that Alex got bored and dumped her after 2 months. She still hasn't gotten over him and hopes this interview might somehow bring them back together. Wa girl was actually in love. She used to skip meals. Guess who bought her food? Andrea, of course. Andrea even took her for a massage. That massage cost Andrea a week's worth of wages. At this point, she's not just a friend, she's a non-profit organization for the emotionally devastated. Oh, and did we mention? Alex once dated Andrea's best friend, Hannah, back when they were freshmen. 2 weeks of romantic chaos. So how did that end? Well, it's 4 a.m., and poor Andrea is trying to sleep. But Hannah keeps texting, sending a flood of weepy messages because her heart is still bleeding. This made me remind how much I had to hear my best friend break up rants about her rat-looing ex, sleepless nights, empty wallets, and a chronic case of secondhand heartbreak. Andrea realizes something. A lot of girls had their hearts broken by Alex. And somehow, all of them left Andrea to pick up the pieces. Emotionally, financially, spiritually. Andrea can't even save money anymore. That's why, in this entire wide, cruel world, she hates Alex the most. Andrea leaves the party behind because today, she has to face her ugly boss. But before that, of course, the universe decides she must run into him. The stupid F-boy, Alex, in all his shiny arrogance, mocks her immediately. He asks if she's really leaving already, because he thought she'd be around at least until 2 a.m., like always. Andrea, in her most scathing tone, replies that instead of picking up on her bad habits, maybe he should go take care of himself. After all, she heard he got dumped 3 days ago. Ouch. But before she can enjoy the upper hand, she spots a new girl clinging to his arm. Bro is actually a great player. I mean, what else one can expect from good-looking boys? A mean-looking one. Honestly, though, Andrea is not even surprised at this point. The girl, clearly territorial, asks Alex who Andrea is because Andrea's tone is just a bit too hostile to pass as casual. Alex, oh so charming, replies that it's not what she thinks. No. The idea of dating Andrea, he says, makes his skin crawl. According to him, she's just a classmate who's obsessed with him. Yes, that's his go intro for her, a flattering one really. Apparently, just because Andrea doesn't melt under his Prince Charming routine like everyone else, she's now branded as obsessed. Andrea scoffs so hard it might echo. She says she wishes she were obsessed with someone who isn't a talentless hack. Alex, never one to back down, immediately asks why she always remembers who he dates and exactly when he breaks up, in vivid detail. Mindy, the new girl, grabs Alex's arm like she's clinging to her GPA and says maybe they should just leave and not bother the clearly unstable girl. But Alex isn't done yet. No, he has theory time. He turns to Mindy and announces, quite proudly, that Andrea has a very special, actually, I will call it a delusional, theory going on. He explains that all her rage is actually frustration. She just doesn't know how to say I like you, so she resorts to violence and bad language. She's a softie, a tsundere, a secret romantic. The only problem, her love language is, well, verbal arson. This makes Andrea scream like a dinosaur, like full Jurassic rage. She calls him rat face and demands he stop acting like a jerk for 5 minutes. Alex calmly lies that he's never acted like a jerk, he only becomes one around her because she starts it. Andrea's nostrils start flaring in anger, literally like a bull. This made me wash my eyes with detergent. Alex, in his infinite wisdom, snaps a photo of it, right in the middle of the nose-flaring madness. He then laughs with Mindy about how Andrea's nostrils really do resemble a bull's. This man has zero survival instincts. Andrea screams at him to delete the picture. Alex scoffs. Delete it? If she wants it gone, she can delete it herself. And so begins the cat-rat fight, round number 28. Mindy, meanwhile, is just standing there, wondering if Andrea really isn't one of Alex's exes. Girl is just worried about her relationship. Because wow, this is intense. Alex says that the photo has great historical value. It captures Andrea in her natural habitat. He assures Mindy that he won't post it on Instagram, but hey, he could sell it. Might make some good money off of it. That's when Andrea, now officially raging, lunges to bite him. Yes, she bites him. Mindy gasps. She's crazy. Alex looks mildly offended. Form? How can he be fine after being bitten by a mad woman? He exclaims. Mindy, ever the curious onlooker, notices Alex's phone on the ground and reaches for it. But Alex snatches it up, thrilled that it's still working. Mindy, clutching her pearls, is appalled. The phone's expensive. Like fancy girl expensive, Mindy acting like she is not going to get dumped after 3 days. Starts scolding Andrea. How dare she? Because of her, the phone's broken. Andrea panics for a moment but then collects herself, playing it cool. She says it's not a big deal. If y'all want to learn how to act cool even when I don't have a penny do follow or Chanel, she can get Alex a new one. She even knows he likes the red limited edition model. Alex places his hand out like a royal collector. He accepts cash only. This nearly rips Andrea's soul from her body. Still trying to stay calm, she asks for a moment and turns away, internally spiraling. She wants to hit herself. Why did she act so cool? She screams internally. Why does she always end up spending her savings on him? She checks her wallet, which looks emptier than her self-esteem at this point. It won't even cover the speaker damage, and her next paycheck is still a week away. Then she hears Alex laughing again. He asks her if she really thought he would take her money. He was just messing around. He doesn't want her money. Both Alex and Mindy burst out laughing at her. Andrea, embarrassed but still stubborn, marches up to Alex and insists that she really wanted to pay. Alex smirks and tells her there's actually a new model he's been eyeing that's coming out this month. He cackles at the panic on her face. Absolutely worth it. Andrea, ego bruised and pride in shambles, tosses the money at him and says it won't be enough, but she plans to pay him the rest soon. She turns away with exaggerated drama, saying she knows how to take responsibility for her actions. She even throws in some sarcasm, calling him Lord Alex. She adds, voice laced with pride, that even if she's not rich like him, he has no reason to pity her. Because that's our Andrea. Most people don't know much about the real Andrea, but there's one thing she knows for sure: nobody can take away her pride. Not jokes apart, she is actually a baddie. The scene shifts to Andrea walking home, defeated and dramatic, when she suddenly hears a cat meow. Her first instinct? Pure terror. For a second, she thinks it's the same demon cat that belonged to the thief who robbed her just last week. Just to add salt to her metaphorical wounds, one of her shoes rips. Of course, today was supposed to be a good day. A fresh, productive, shine like the stars kind of day. But no, everything has turned into a flaming mess. Even her shoes are betraying her now. She's almost sure her boss is going to say something really mean to her next. Spoiler, he doesn't say something mean. He fires her, just like that. The boss shouts that she ruined a man's suit, and now he has to pay for it. Andrea, clinging to hope like a wet tissue, apologizes and begs for a last chance. The owner scoffs, claiming he's tired of her acting like she's someone special. Andrea, blinking in confusion, insists she never said anything like that. But the boss is on a roll. He accuses her of showing up with full-face makeup and flashy clothes, telling her to ask her parents to stop punishing him by sending her here. He wants a new worker. Andrea tries to explain that yes, she does put effort into looking decent. I mean, what do I mean, sir? She is just a girl. But her appearance has never gotten in the way of her work. Also, her parents aren't exactly the type to ring him up, but the man has already decided. She's out. Now she's worried. Why is everything falling apart right when she needs stability the most? She starts to get angry, fuming over how her ex-boss was always secretly judging her, and now he's fired her over makeup and a ruined suit. To top it all off, the thrifted shoes she got just last month decide to abandon her. Literally, they start falling apart. She pleads with them like they're sentient beings. Just 5 more miles. That's all she needs. Suddenly, her phone buzzes with messages. Apparently, the news of her being fired has spread faster than celebrity scandals. She doesn't even understand how these people know already. Do they have a private Andrea surveillance group? Just how my mom's side family has for me? She even gets a text from Donna, her neighbor's younger sister, and fun fact, Andrea's former babysitter. Donna says she heard about the whole getting fired incident and that there's a job opening where she works. This finally lifts Andrea's mood, until Donna adds that it's a position Andrea had already turned down once. Of course, just then, Andrea glances at her torn shoes again and remembers everything. Alex, the humiliation, the fake princely act, and how she now owes him money. Yep. She texted Donna back with what can only be described as pure desperation. Beggars can't be choosers. The next day, Andrea finds herself standing in front of a house so massive it might as well be a castle. She's not even sure she can call it a house. It's the kind of place celebrities buy, pretend they'll live in, and never visit again. As she approaches, she sees the bushes rustle. Out pops Donna, like a suspicious squirrel. Turns out, she's been waiting for Andrea. She says if Andrea had been late, she wouldn't have made it to the walk-in interview. Timing has never been Andrea's thing, so she just smiles like whoops. They head toward the front door, which looks like it was handcrafted by angels with a Pinterest account. Andrea gushes about how pretty it is, but Donna quickly warns her they'll be shot by security lasers, figuratively, if they try to enter through the front without an appointment. So they'll be going through the Surgeon's guest room entrance, obviously. Andrea's brain glitches. They have a guest room for servants? Fancy. When they get there, Andrea's jaw drops. The room is full of fashionable, stunning girls, each one looking like they walked off the cover of a teen magazine. Not even exaggerating, man. Donna explains that these are all applicants, just like Andrea. Andrea even recognizes one of them from TikTok, the one who went viral with a dance challenge. In real life, she's even prettier. There's another girl who's done a few commercials. And all of them, Dressed like they're going to a red carpet gala, Andrea slowly starts to feel like a toad at a princess convention. She whispers to Donna, asking if there was a dress code memo she missed. Donna assures her that she's fine. Actually, Andrea's simple outfit is perfect. Turns out the girls went all out because the butler, being the gossip he is, told everyone that the job involved cleaning the young master's bedroom. Keyword, bedroom. Naughty, naughty girls. So naturally, everyone assumes the young master himself will be handpicking his future maid. Andrea's like, what is the deal with this mysterious young master? Donna spills the tea. He's 18, charming, stupidly handsome, and the sole male heir of the ultra-wealthy Reynard family. Basically, a modern-day prince. He dates models and influencers so often, the neighbors think he's single-handedly boosting the economy at Instagram. Andrea mutters that she could have at least jogged home and changed before coming here. But Donna grabs her arm like, don't ruin this for us. Andrea's plain clothing is actually a huge advantage. Why? Because what none of the sparkly girls know is that Madame Reynard, the protective, terrifying grandmother of the young master, is the one conducting the interviews, and she has no patience for gold diggers dressed like they're here to audition for The Bachelor. Andrea, still scared by her ex-boss judging her for dressing up, had no energy to glam up anyway. Donna checks in again, asking if Andrea is serious about this job or just here to thrift personality content like the rest of them. Andrea promises she's here for the money, no Prince Charming daydreams, only cold, hard cash. Then Donna adds one last thing. Madame Reynard might just be the woman Andrea met once before in her life. And yes, Madame knows, but Andrea must treat her like a normal person. If Madame sniffs out even a hint of familiarity, she'll absolutely weaponize it. Just as that warning lands, Madame Reynard descends the stairs like an empress ready to judge a new generation. Her eyes scan the room. Girls in gold dresses, diamond chokers, fake Chanel bags. Her thoughts? Gold diggers. All of them. She mutters something about the butler being an idiot for even letting them mention the Reynard family name. Then she walks forward to see if there's anyone among them remotely fit for the job. And so Andrea's second chance begins. With ripped shoes, a bruised ego, and a room full of sparkly rivals. Andrew starts to look here and there, wondering how the young master will feel knowing all these pretty ladies are trying to become his maid. Hearing some girls talk about the Reynard family, Andrea decides to eavesdrop a little too, hoping to catch some news. One of the girls notices Andrea trying to listen in and asks her if she wants to join their gossip session. Andrea says yes, but she's actually too distracted by the dryness of the girls' fake extensions to focus at first. From these friends, or rather, the kind of girls who call each other bestie, while side-eyeing one another, Andrea learns a lot about the Reynard family. The Reynard home was designed by a famous, elegant architect whose name she can't really spell. Many people have made offers to buy this house, but the family refuses to sell. Apparently, they don't care for money. I want Roe be this rich god. The Reynards are said to have drinks in high places, and their total net worth has surpassed that of many international business owners. Rumor has it, the only reason they're not on the Forbes list is because they paid to keep the family private. Nobody actually knows what they do, but they own several hotels and restaurants around the world. People also claim the Reynards hold a massive amount of stock in unicorn startups. But the real icing on the cake is the mysterious Reynard grandson, the only bachelor of the family and the one who will inherit all the wealth. Now Andrea understands why all the girls are going crazy with their dresses. One of the girls adds that the young master is really handsome. Another girl asks Andrea if she wants to see him. Andrea really wants to see, after all, she's been looking around so much his hairline might start to recede. Just as the girl is about to show her the picture, Donna calls all of them to line up. She warns that unless they reach the guest room within a minute, they won't be making it to the next round. All the girls ask if she's being serious, but Donna simply gestures and a few staff step forward to guide them. Immediately, the girls who were calling each other besties moments ago start pushing one another and calling each other names. Andrea sees the chaos, sighs, and starts to run. She is the first to reach the room. Andrea looks at the madame and realizes this is the real dragon. The madame gestures for her to close the door, leaving the other girls outside. She scoffs, saying that if her maids can't run to her aid, they're no use to her. Then she declares that if anyone in the room has motives other than cleaning and mopping her house, they should leave. Old Auntie really knows their deal. No one responds. She says that was their last chance and begins her evaluation. The first girl is the commercial type. The madame harshly comments that her thick makeup will smear all over the upholstery. The girl starts crying, saying she wears makeup to cover her blemishes. Andrea thinks that was actually harsh and begins to worry for herself. The madame then turns to the extension girl and says she looks like someone trying to attract attention, as if she's an assassin targeting her family. One by one, the madame picks apart each girl with cold precision. Andrea thinks to herself that nothing seems to satisfy this old hag. You can't be pretty, but you also can't be too dull. She wonders if the madame is looking for a maid or a daughter-in-law. Finally, the madame reaches Andrea, the first one who entered the room. She takes a closer look at Andrea. Her makeup is minimal and not flashy, her clothes are decent, and her boots are sturdy, showing she's ready for heavy work. The madame notes that she heard from Donna that Andrea didn't know anything about her grandfather. Andrea says she's sure her grandfather is very pretty, but she has a family she loves and who is counting on her to get this job. She assures the madame that she can ask her anything about cleaning. The madame does just that. She asks how to remove blood from linen. Andrea replies, polish it with talcum powder and powdered milk. She asks about removing mascara from satin pillows. Andrea replies, dissolve 5 aspirins in water and dab. Don't pull, using a microfiber cloth on the silk. Then she asks the best way to polish copper. Andrea says, use half a lemon dipped in salt. The madame is genuinely impressed that this girl knows everything, but she warns Andrea not to smile yet. There's still one thing she needs to know. She asks how old Andrea is. Andrea says she just turned 18. Without a moment's hesitation, the madame says, next. Andrea is left completely shocked. It was much of a great heartbreak bookies. Andrea wonders if this is really it, if she's truly about to get rejected just because of her age. She tries to reach out to the madame. All her life, she's met all kinds of people, shady people, people doing bad things, but none of them have ever made her feel this kind of fear. And yet this woman has Andrea shaking in her boots. There's something about the way she speaks, the way she moves, the way she carries herself. She seems so far above her. And maybe that's exactly why Andrea wants to work for her. No, scratch that, she needs to. She wants to become someone like her. Gathering her pride in one hand and her desperation in the other, Andrea pleads for a chance. She says she knows she's a good candidate, and her family is counting on her to get this job. She swears on her eyebrows, and maybe her life a little bit, that she's going to do her best. One of the girls mutters that Andrea just ruined her own chances. The madame then asks Andrea if she even remembers the last things she touched. Andrea, who's been touching literally everything like a curious raccoon, says she's touched a lot of things. The madame shouts for her to get her filthy hand off her. Nah, that was actually disrespectful. I can't. I would have started crying. Andrea blinks in disbelief, heartbreaking a little. She asks the madame if she thinks her hands are filthy just because she's not as rich. Even the madame looks surprised by her audacity. Andrea, clearly not done, whips out a bottle of sanitizer like it's a sword and declares that she took a shower this morning and this house is the first place she's been since. So unless the air here is laced with dirt, she's definitely not filthy. She pouts, rubs her hands clean dramatically, and says, now her hands are sanitized. Can they please continue the interview? Andrea tells the madame that she might be young, but she's been working for 3 years now. She's a fast learner, faster than some people's Wi-Fi. She insists she can do in 3 hours what others take 6 hours to finish. That's why she has potential, great potential. She even reminds the madame that she's still in school, but not the type to quit. She knows how to manage her time. Her voice grows confident, maybe even a little sassy, as she tells the madame that rejecting her would be a huge mistake. Then, like a queen who's dropped the mic, she walks out. As she leaves, Andrea thinks to herself that she messed up again. Why can't she just let go of her pride once in her life? But just as she's about to disappear forever in a cloud of self-pity, Donna calls out to her. Andrea turns around and apologizes to Donna, saying she let her down even after she gave her a chance. She admits she couldn't stop herself when she heard the word filthy. Suddenly, the madame appears behind her like a stealthy boss in a final level and says to Andrea that her trial starts today. Andrea freezes. Wait, is the madame actually serious? The madame looks her in the eye and asks what her big motive is now that she's gotten the job. Andrea replies that the job is to be a maid. What else? The madame smirks and says it's obviously because Andrea impressed her. She shakes hands with Andrea, officially welcoming her, and compliments her on the long, dramatic, Oscar-worthy speech. She says she hopes Andrea doesn't make her regret it. Then she asks if Andrea has heard about her family. From behind, Donna leans in and whispers. They're known for making entire families disappear. Andrea, wide-eyed, takes the house map Donna gives her. Donna warns that if she gets lost, she can call one of the landlines. She also mentions the current uniform doesn't fit Andrea's, so she should give her measurements and they'll get a new one tailored by next week. Still, Donna looks worried. The final order from the madame is for Andrea to go clean the young master's room, and that definitely smells like a test. Andrea says if it's a test, then game on. Time to show the Reynards what she's made of. As they walk toward the room, Donna gives one last piece of advice. Stay far, far away from the young master. Apparently, he's a flirt so intense, the moment he sees a girl his age, it's like the leash snaps and all bets are off. Donna suggests Andrea pretend to be married or allergic to testosterone or something. Andrea chuckles and assures her not to worry. She likes food more than flirty boys anyway. First, she heads to the dining room, then the music studio, then the in-house bar, because of course they have one, and internally screams how many rooms does one family need. Eventually, she arrives at the door of the young master's room, filled with excitement. She still can't believe that minor celebrities actually signed up to be this guy's maid. She puts on her mask and enters. The room is a disaster, like apocalypse-level messy. Electronics are everywhere. Andrea stares like she just walked into a tech nerd's lair, not a bedroom. She sighs and starts to clean, deciding she might as well tidy up before this sleeping beauty wakes up. She glances at the young master's back and thinks his build and hair color seem oddly familiar. Then her eyes catch something, his phone. More specifically, the little menu sticker she gave him. Andrea leans in. No way, it couldn't be. She turns his face. And it is. It's Alex. The Alex. The last guy whom she ever wants to run into. The guy whose last name she never thought to ask. She's completely frozen. And then, right on cue, Alex opens his eyes. Andrea does the only reasonable thing she can do in that moment. She screams. Alex gets up and sees that he slept for 14 hours. Bookies, I want to be this careless in life too. Andrea has finally gotten out of his room. She thinks that was actually a close call, but curses her luck. She's really worried. She's in Alex's house. She knew that he was rich, but she didn't know it was on this level. She wonders how lucky he is to not care about money. She thinks this has to be a nightmare. Then she sees the massive portrait of Alex with his grandmother. Girl is fricked up. Andrea, having no choice, comes back to his room. Alex is playing his game ends. He casually remarks that she's back and tells her she can start by picking up his clothes. This makes Andrea curse in her head, thinking he's even more of a prick in his own house. She starts to pick up his clothes, but she's worried that with her current get-up, he won't be able to recognize her. If he finds out who she really is, she's sure she'll die prematurely. Then she sees his underwear. She finally finishes cleaning the whole room and wonders if she could ask Donna to get her reassigned to another room. Alex throws more of his stuff at her, telling her to take it to the laundry too. All she wants in that moment is to kick him in the nuts. But then she sees him half naked again and starts to blush. As he's leaving, he gives her a tip. If she wants to work here for a long time, she should stop staring at him, because a certain old lady won't like it. Boy knows he is handsome. He then goes to the bathroom, but throws his pants and underwear to her too as he leaves. She can't believe it. She just saw his bare ass. She screams internally that he just took her virginity. Outside, she sighs. Just 4 more hours to go. While she's cleaning, she starts rehearsing the speech she plans to say to Madame. She's really thankful that she chose her for this job, but she has a serious problem. Though she knows she has the skills to clean any room, she would really like to be assigned to any room other than the Gransons. It's not her intention to offend Madame by saying this or to imply that she's too good to clean his room. She's just hoping to avoid him. She promises to work twice as hard for the same pay if she could just be assigned somewhere else. She plans to say with due respect that she doesn't like her grandson and would like to avoid meeting him altogether. She smiles to herself, thinking how happy she'd be if she could say that last part out loud. Suddenly, a chef standing behind her, hiding a cake, says that he got her. Andrea jumps back, screaming. They both look at each other in shock. Andrea almost begs him to tell her how much of her speech he heard, and if there are CCTVs that can hear people's voices. Also, she asks if his cake is fine. The chef replies that he heard she doesn't like Alex, and yes, the CCTVs can indeed hear voices. His cake is also fine. Andrea falls to her knees, begging him not to tell Madame, because she's heard that Madame can make families disappear. The chef laughs and assures her that he won't tell. He says that even if he doesn't say anything, she'll be found out eventually because it's really hard to find any worker for Alex's room. He asks her why she thinks they hold open interviews instead of hiring maids from professional agencies. Andrea stands up, muttering that she knows Alex is a snooping kind of person. The chef adds that he's also a fan of ordering tall cakes but never finishing them. Alex, listening to all this from behind the monitor, smirks and mutters to himself that the new maid is here, and it looks like she's already made friends with his favorite cake guy. Alex asks if they are busy or just chilling. Andrea hurriedly puts on her mask and asks him if he needs something. Hearing her call him sir, he asks her if no one has ever told her his name. The chef comes forward, asking Alex to stop. After all, Andrea is a new recruit. They both gaze at each other angrily. Andrea can't believe he's achieved one thing she thought would be impossible, becoming even more annoying here on his own turf. Alex pokes the cake. Gabriel asks him what he's doing. Alex replies that he's just eating, wondering if her grandma is going to like this cake. After all, he says that Gabriel also knows how picky his grandma can be. He then tells Andrea that she missed a spot in his room. Andrea thinks that he's even more unbearable at home, just as she thought he had reached Maximus' level of annoying. He says that there were some crumpled notes by his bedside, and she was supposed to line them up at least. Bro is so cringe I'm sorry. Alex, looking at Andrea, suddenly thinks that now he feels like an ass because her face looks really horrifying. Gabriel laughs, saying that Madame really chose a girl immune to him. Suddenly, Andrea wonders if he is talking about the money she gave him. She turns away, saying that she will go and do it. Alex pokes the cake again. Gabriel nags at him, asking if he really must make every person in his vicinity a conquest. He thinks that Andrea was scared out of her mind when Alex pulled those cringy moves on her. But Alex says that he can't believe Gabriel matched the matcha and the raspberry to such perfection and wonders if there is a single time where he doesn't gain this amazing praise. Gabriel actually blushes. Alex, leaving, thinks that good things, yeah, he's good at saying sweet things, it helps him shut up the people who nag him. After so many hours of doing work that also included avoiding Alex, Andrea finally reaches her home. Her mom asks her about her first day at work. She says to her mom that it went well. Her mom shouts at her to come down and eat dinner too, but she says later and lies down on her bed, just thinking about how she will have to go to that hell mansion again tomorrow, and that thought alone makes her tired. The next day happens, and she is sleeping in her class seat. She gets up, but she is still really tired. Suddenly, she hears a familiar voice laughing. It's none other than Alex. He says to his live stream that he will end it here as the beast has woken up. Alex says that the scholarship student Andrea dozing off right in the first morning is something truly out of place, so he really has to show this face of hers to his fans. This is when Andrea realizes that she will have to spend most of her time dealing with Alex, at his house where he constantly flirts with her, and at school where he will constantly annoy her. And this is when Alex begins to wonder if recording Andrea might actually endanger his existence. Alex literally begs her to forgive him, saying he was wrong and is an idiot for doing it. He begs her not to come any closer, but she punches him while he begs her not to hit him in the face, since he has a date after school. On the other side, Donna is trimming the bushes. She looks back and says she can't believe that Andrea will be coming back. Andrea has already decided what she will do. She plans to clean Alex's room as quickly as possible. She thinks this house is big enough that she will never really have to see his face during her working hours. She quickly cleans his entire room, and the only thing that's left now is his bathroom. As she is about to enter the bathroom, his half-naked image appears before her. But she says angrily that no matter how good his cage is, she will hate him. She enters the bathroom, ready to get it over with. Just as she enters the bathroom, at the same time, Alex also enters his room. Andrea panics. He is already home. Alex talks to someone else, saying that it must be their first time seeing his room. Then Andrea notices another voice. It's Mindy. She thanks Alex for showing her his great home. Andrea can't believe it. He really brought a girl home. Bro is enjoying life on full speed. Man, Mindy says that she can't believe he has the latest gaming station, as she thought it was still in pre-orders. Alex tells her that his family knows someone who works at Sony. Meanwhile, Andrea, still hiding, is sure that her luck is getting worse day by day. First she ended up in his house, and now she even has to listen to his stupid date. She swears that someone up above is making fun of her life. Alex tells Mindy that she looks extra cute today, and day by day she's getting cuter. Mindy giggles and says, "Aw," asking him to stop. "Oh, I'm gonna puke, I'm jealous." Poor Andrea is in a pure torture phase. She decides to count until the giggles make her puke. Mindy says to Alex that he's tickling her. Andrea tries her best not to listen to this crap, but she gets on her knees. Now that she thinks about it, it's actually amazing. And that is that Alex's relationships never last. Everyone knows that he's notoriously fickle. He'll say he likes someone and then ignore them for the next 2 days. Despite that horrifying record, girls keep coming after him. People say that he had an older girlfriend whom he never recovered from, and this is his coping mechanism. She doesn't understand why so many people still like him romantically. She accepts that he's good-looking and behaves like royalty, and that alone is enough for people to come after him. But still, somehow, he manages to stay friends with most of his exes. And mind you, these are the most fire-cursed girls in the school. Suddenly, she hears Mindy asking Alex if that's all she's getting from him. Andrea wonders what she means by that. Alex is confused. He asks her if something's wrong because he thought she actually liked the bracelet. Mindy, crying, asks Alex if this is some kind of test. Andrea knows she shouldn't be eavesdropping, but this is really messed up. Mindy cries, saying that she heard he's really generous with gifts, and if all she gets is this poor strap bracelet, then it's humiliating, even if it's a test. Alex sighs, saying that it wasn't a test or anything like that. He genuinely thought she would like it. Mindy continues crying, asking him if he really thinks any woman would like her partner to go cheap on her when he has this much wealth. Suddenly, Alex gets a call. Mindy starts shouting at him, asking if he's really answering his phone in the middle of their date. Alex says that he's just replying to a friend. Mindy shouts at him, saying that if he doesn't put the phone down, they're over. Alex goes and sits on the sofa, not listening to her. This makes Mindy furious, and she leaves, shouting that they're over. Andrea, listening to this, feels really sad for Alex, wondering if this is how it always was with all his exes. My cute little girlies pop don't think that all of boys are like Alex, okay please. Alex lets out a sigh and asks Andrea to come out. He says he knew she'd been there the whole time, but he won't get mad at her because he knows she was already there cleaning when he got home. But he asks that she just doesn't look at his face right now. Andrea takes off her mask and steps out. She apologizes to him, saying she didn't mean to eavesdrop. Alex assures her that it's okay. As she is leaving, she looks at the bracelet that Alex was giving to Mindy. She remembers that today's art class was about making friendship bracelets for loved ones. The art class ends, and Andrea tells Hannah to grab some food. As they are leaving and talking, she sees that Alex was still working on his piece. Back to the present, Alex says to Andrea that if she knows what's ironic, it's that he is always surrounded by people, but he always feels lonely. Andrea looks at him and says that for a guy like him, it should be easy to find a girl who's good for him rather than a gold digger. Alex, ever the narcissist, says that she's not completely wrong. After all, he always gets replacements quickly, as girls are lining up to date him. Seeing him act the same as always, Andrea really wants to stuff a sock in his cocky mouth. He adds, however, that in the end, these people only date him because they want something from him, which is actually sad. He wonders if these people would still want to be with him without his good genes and family wealth. He says that though there is a girl in his school who always acts out and calls him out whenever he's being a little brat, he deliberately annoys her just so that someone can be real with him. He wonders what that's supposed to say about him, when he can't even act normal around her, even though he wishes to know her better. Then he says, what was he even thinking, talking about all this stuff to a maid? He tells her that she can go now as her job is done. Andrea takes her leave, but as she is walking out, she wonders if Alex was talking about her. While Alex silently gazes at her leaving. Don't tell me he knows that the maid is Andrea. And screaming, and my mom is thinking that it's because I'm texting a guy. The next day, Andrea goes to school. She tells herself that something feels different today. The moment she steps onto the campus, she senses something is off. Everyone has gone overboard with their perfume. The whole school smells like a flower bouquet. Her peers are laughing in a way that sounds almost like honey. And there's an unusual amount of flirting, batting eyelashes, and mimic gestures. It's as if everyone watched and memorized one of those make and fall for you TikTok videos. Wah, it's like 10 ways to get a guy, and none of them are actually working. Andrea finds everyone acting extra today. She looks at a girl and remembers that she had straight hair just last week. She bumps into another girl and notices that her skirt looks like a wardrobe malfunction waiting to happen. She sees one girl, wasn't she blind before? and even hears that another girl broke up with her long-term boyfriend this morning. Andrea screams internally, wondering just why everyone is trying so hard today, harder than her, even though she's supposed to be the popular one. I love how she screams. It seems like the girl is a descendant of dinosaurs. Hannah, her best friend, even changes her appearance and greets her. Andrea asks her how she managed to grow her hair this long in just one day, and also notes that Hannah usually doesn't wear tight-fitted skirts. She admits that Hannah's perfume is good, but complains that she could smell it from miles away. Hannah even brings out her Chanel bag. Hannah explains that she walked into her mom's walk-in closet and sprayed that gold perfume. Andrea is speechless. That perfume is her mom's precious treasure, and she's definitely going to get in trouble for spraying half the bottle. Andrea starts whispering to Hannah, saying that everyone seems really weird today. She even starts pinching Hannah to stop twinkling so much while they're talking and calls her plastic two little pookies. I know it's fun, but you should never call someone plastic. Hannah shows her Alex's Instagram, asking where she was yesterday since the news is all over the internet. Andrea says it's a very mid picture of Alex. Hannah tells her to read the caption. The caption says that he broke up. Hannah gets excited that he and his girlfriend broke up. Andrea says, so what? Because he always goes back to his older ex-girlfriend after dating someone new for a while. It's his pattern. Hannah scoffs, saying Andrea knows nothing because this time it won't happen. Alex's super petty older ex is now taken by a college guy. Andrea is really stunned. Hannah, all excited, says that for the first time, Alex is vulnerable and has no one to go back to, no one to help fix his broken pieces. Hannah even double-checks the Instagram and shows that the ex posted cute pictures with her new man. Hannah says this means Alex is extra vulnerable now and will be extra nice to his new girlfriend. Andrea feels dirty just hearing this short theory. Suddenly, as Alex enters the class, all the girls start to gather around him, trying to console him. Alex tells everyone that he's fine and they don't need to worry about him. Hannah, as delusional as ever, says it seems like old flames might help heal his wounds. Andrea calls her a crazy woman and pinches Hannah, saying she can't date Alex. Hannah asks why. He looks so cute, and the last time they dated was so long ago. Andrea says that Hannah already had her chance and she should let Alex break some other girl instead, and to take out her extensions. Hannah says she doesn't want to, even though it feels a little itchy. But Andrea forces her to take them off, adding that when Hannah dated him for 2 weeks, she made Andrea lose her special sleep for 2 weeks, and she won't let that happen again. The scene shifts to Hannah's pout. She says her hair is back to a bob cut and tells Andrea she hates her. Hannah makes faces at her and says she's really mean. Maybe that's why Andrea is still single even though she's pretty and sporty.